There's something going on. Crowd loving it. It's a ball, fly ball. Home run!
2, 1. All right, so we got the NFL. Last week, I think Ryan did pretty well. Ryan, how did you do it last week?
11-4.
11-4. Ryan is pulling up his socks. I think last week, or the previous week, he went 8-8. Now he went 11-4. So he might be getting on a little hot streak here. Watch out. All right. So any surprises last week? You went 11-4, but I mean, was there any of those surprises that you didn't see happening, or you were pretty happy to see?
I was okay with pretty much everything last week. I mean, for the most part, everything we saw played out. The Saints really played well against the Packers. However, they just couldn't pull it out. And there were a few of those games.
And you're riding that horse. And you were riding that horse.
Well, I picked the Packers last week. I just couldn't pick the Saints, but I wanted to see the Saints do it. And the good thing is they looked really good. They did look good. For the first time this year, Breeze threw for over 400 yards. If it had been any other team in the league, they probably would have pulled that one out. But they didn't. So for surprises last week, there weren't too many that I thought of. Most of the games that you could have flipped a coin with, they went either way. So I didn't see much last week that was great, other than, like I said, the one thing that I did notice was Breeze. Right.
Thursday, we have the 4-0 Arizona Cardinals versus the 2-2 St. Louis Rams. Who do you like?
I like the St. Louis Cardinals in this Arizona Cardinals.
St. Louis Cardinals.
St. Louis, we're thinking about baseball here. I like the Arizona Cardinals. I think they're going to go 5-0. The Rams are the Rams. They've shown some improvement, but I just don't think the Rams are going to beat the Cardinals. The Cardinals look too good right now.
All right. Sunday's matchups start with Miami versus Cincinnati.
I got the Bengals at home in this game. Miami is just not good. They're horrible on the road, and the Bengals are getting a little better.
Next, we got the Packers versus the Colts. Colts coach has leukemia, right?
Yes. Yeah. He was diagnosed with a form of leukemia, and they're going to go through the year without him, and they're going to try to leave a light on in the office for him. And it'll be interesting to see how that team comes back from this, because from what I understand, Andrew Luck was quite close with the coach previously, so it'll be interesting to see how it affects him when you look at how Sean Payton's absence from the Saints has affected the Saints, or at least how it looks how it's affected the Saints. Okay, so in that game I got the Packers over the Colts. Packers are on the road. The Colts are just the Colts. Packers are too strong.
All right, then we got Ravens and Chiefs.
I've got the Ravens on that one. The Chiefs are brutal. They're winless at home, which I guess one of these days they're going to have to win. Ravens got to travel. I don't think the Chiefs have anywhere near the team they need to be able to beat a team like the Ravens.
And we got the 0-4 Browns at the 2-2 Giants.
Giants all the way. This game should be a laugher. This should be Giants don't want to look ahead to the next one, but they're going to be able to.
All right, we got an interesting matchup here. Philadelphia goes into Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh had a bye week last week.
Yep.
Philly's 3-1, and the Steelers are 1-2.
Yeah, I got the Steelers in this game. This is a tough one. The Steelers to me are hurting a bit. They don't seem to be clicking in all cylinders. Whereas the Eagles, same thing. They're despite their 3-1 record, they seem to be. I mean, Vic, there's a lot of concern over Vic. They seem to be a lot of turnovers, a lot of interceptions. I got the Steelers home. This is a grudge match for me, but I think the Steelers got to pull this one out. This is one of those must-win games early on if you believe in those sort of things.
All right, then we got the Falcons 4-0 versus RG3 and the Redskins 2-2.
Falcons might be the best team in the league. I'm going to go with the Falcons. That should be the Redskins should show up at least, but I see the Falcons walking away with that one fairly easily.
All right, we got the 2-2 Seattle Seahawks at the 1-3 Panthers.
This is an interesting one to me. I like Seattle. After what Seattle did the other week there, they looked really good defensively. I'm gonna take the Panthers though, because they're at home, and Seattle has to travel a long way, and Seattle's 0-2 on the road so far this year. So give me the Panthers on that one.
All right, then we got the 3-1 Bears at the 1-3 Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm going with the Bears, even though Forte might be a little banged up. It sounds like he's going to be okay, and not too much of a detriment to his play. The interesting thing in this one is Cutler and Marshall finally seem to be connecting, and that could be dangerous for some of these teams like Jacksonville, who just don't have the horses to keep up.
Then we got the 1-3 Titans at the 3-1 Vikings. I don't know if many people had the 3-1 Vikings.
This one screams Vikings all the way, and I'm going to stay with that. 3-1 against 1-3. Vikings are 2-0 at home. Titans are 0-2. There is a bit of a travel from Tennessee to Minnesota. So I'm going to stay with the Vikings on this one. It's the safe bet, and that's what I'm going to do.
All right, then we got the Broncos, 2-2, heads into New England, who just destroyed Buffalo in the second half last week, who also are 2-2.
I got to say, it looked really good on Buffalo because I can't stand that team. So I like seeing them get beat, even though it's the Patriots, who I'm still not that fond of, although I respect everything they do. Patriots over the Broncos. Peyton goes down. I think Peyton's having a good year. It's just he's not getting the breaks. That could be the team around him more than anything else.
The last game at the 4:25 hour, Bills 2-2 head into San Francisco 3-1.
This should be an easy one for San Francisco. Bills got embarrassed last week. They got to travel all the way across the country. The 49ers, on paper, coming into the year, were one of the top teams in the league. They still are, especially in that division. I think this is an easy one for the 49ers. They don't have to wake up except for an hour before the game.
All right, so the Sunday night matchup, we got the 3-1 Chargers head into the 0-4 Saints. But you said, as we began this podcast, that you liked the Saints last week. So are you going to ride that horse again, or are you going with the Chargers?
Saints get their first win this week.
All right.
Saints get their first win this week. There's no way the Chargers are going in after this past week and everything that, the Peyton's not allowed to come and watch a game. He's not allowed to have any contact with the players, that sort of thing. But he's, this is a win for the Saints.
And then finally, the Monday night matchup, we got the Texans 4-0 at the 2-2 Jets.
Texans going to continue this win streak. The Jets are not good. Sanchez is not playing well, and people are getting restless. They want to see Tebow, and the Jets don't want to put Tebow in yet.
All right. So, out of all these matchups, is there anything you picked? You made your picks. Is there any sleepers you got? Any teams you see as a possibility?
The one game that I look at that I could, if I had to flip a vote or flip my pick, it would be the Panthers-Seahawks game. Now, I picked the Panthers. The Seahawks defense really impressed me. If I had to flip, I would pick the Seahawks instead of the Panthers. That would be the game that I see going the other way really easily.
All right. So, once again, Ryan went 11-4 last week, guys. So, keep him honest and check out our podcast next week where we recap what happened this week and look forward to week number 6.